I am in a small town of Olar, South Carolina. Driving through the little downtown here. Old abandoned gas station. Let me show you a map real quick. You can see where I am. Back in 1930, there were 540 people here. Today there are just about over 200. This town was founded in the late 1800s by four brothers. They were former Confederate soldiers. The town is named after one of the brothers' daughters. Yeah, I found that interesting. Olar. That is a different name for a girl, isn't it? There's Town Hall right there. The median age of the town is 40. About 1 year younger than the U.S. median age of 39. 49% of the town is white. 27% black. The rest is mixed race or other. Usually I show you the graphs, but in this particular video I'm not going to do that because these towns are all so small. It's only going to take me a few minutes to go through each one, but I'm going to show you quite a few little small, nearly forgotten towns here in South Carolina. A cool fire truck. The fire department. A little section of downtown. Median household income here is $27,000. $27,000. That's what the household lives on here. That's just over $500 a week. There's not a lot of houses here, and about half of them look like that one. That one caught on fire. Yeah, you just drive down the streets here. A lot of this. 22% of the town lives at or below the poverty line. That's actually not that bad, especially given the cost of living here. It's a 90. So 10% lower than the rest of the U.S. Yeah, there's a house in there. Last year, crime? Well, no crimes reported. That's not really a surprise, I would think. A town like this, everybody knows each other. It would be hard to get away with crime here. Jesus saves. Believe it or not, that is for sale. I have no idea how to find it, so someone can look it up. Let me see if I can see a street name here. Weed Avenue, says. Well, someone can find that. An internet sleuth. See how much they want for that. I'm sure we would all be very interested. There are a lot of abandoned trailers here. This looks like a trash dump as well. There's a little small graveyard here on the grounds of this Baptist church. Sweet Rest Baptist Church, it says. Now, if you're wondering if they're able to get groceries, they do have a Dollar General here in town. There are a lot of houses that look like this one, though. It's real nice. Median home value, $90,000. This is the town of Hilda. It's about 400 people here, a little over. The town was founded as a railroad stop, and the railroad executive who brought the railroad to town named it after his daughter. There's Town Hall. Looks like they have a caboose over there. Celebrate the town's railroad history. Median age of the town is 43. A little bit older. That was once a grocery store gas station. It is no more. And yet another grocery store right here. Yet another gas station right here. Jetson. The difference is in the warranty. Pretty robust fire department, isn't it? For a little town of 400 people. Uh, 84% of the town is white. %17 black. Well, the town feels smaller than 418 people. Finding it hard to find much to show you. I can tell you that the median household income here is just under $45,000 a year. It's about $860 a week. Yeah, so incomes are a little bit better than the last town. 25% of the town lives in poverty, but the cost of living is only a 75. 25% lower than the rest of the U.S. So that poverty level is not as bad as it sounds. They had 3 crimes total here last year. And the median home value, $64,600. That's a pretty cool decoration for your house. Some old gas pumps. Well, dog sighting. There's that too. No cats yet. This is the small city of Denmark.
Stay in the left lane.
South Carolina. About 3,000 people here. I've already done a video of this town, geez, about 3-4 years ago. May do one again eventually, but not yet. Some beautiful old houses in this town. This town is very poor, very high poverty. Well, we were just in Denmark, South Carolina. This is Norway, South Carolina. Just down the road a few miles. little less than 300 people here. That's a pretty big building for a town this small, isn't it? Median age of this town is 50. Yeah, it's a little bit older. Let's turn in here, see what residential looks like. 66% of this town is black, 29% white. What's left is mixed race or other. Median household income's $42,386. Yeah, a little less than $43,000 a year. That's about $800 a week. Well, the town has a Family Dollar. That seems to be the place where people shop. This looks like a bit of a junkyard back here, filled with automotive treasures, I would say. There's a couple of sheep on the porch of that building. Well, wait a minute. Yep, nope. I was wondering maybe if they were statues. No, he just looked at me. That is an odd thing to see. Do you think maybe they are guard sheep guarding all this treasure here? I suppose it's possible. I've heard that goats and sheep can be pretty mean. You guys tell me. Poverty rate of this town is 19%. That's not too bad, especially with the cost of living of only 84, so 16% lower than the rest of the U.S. Crimes, they had 3 crimes total here last year. Yeah, so there's that. Well, this was a magnificent old house. Now it's just rotting into the ground where it sits. The median home value of this town is $95,000. But I'm going to guess this house costs a bit more than that. That is a beauty, isn't it? I am in the town of Cope, South Carolina. Well, here's a map first. See where I'm at. The population of this town is 15. According to the internet, this is the smallest town in the state of South Carolina. Here's a little downtown. Love that building, but it's well, it's gutted. Oh, there's Town Hall right there. Life in the Word Holiness Church. Yeah, 80% of this town is black, 20% is white. But here, take a look at this chart. Here's the most interesting number. 80% women. So if there are 15 people here, a little restaurant there, it looks like. If my math is correct, that means 12 of them are female. And only 3 are male. How about that? Now that looks like a male walking in front of us. He must be one of the 3. Interesting. Median age here, pretty young guy too. Median age here is 53. So this town is definitely older. The census didn't have a median household income, but it had per capita $13,327 a year. That's only $250 a week. that would make this one of the poorest towns in the country. Of course, there's going to be abandoned homes. Look at this old house. This looks like something out of the late 1800s, doesn't it? Wow, that is cool. There's definitely an industry here of some sort. I'm not sure what. Somebody help us out and let us know what that is. I don't know if it is operating though. It's pretty quiet, middle of the day during the week. Well, they do have a fire department right here. Poverty rate 67%. Whew, that's high. Even with fairly low cost of living, which is 88%, 12% lower than the rest of the U.S. But yeah, 67% poverty. That's really high. There was no median home value. Census didn't list one. And there were no crimes reported in this town last year. I mean, who's surprised by that? With only 15 people, most of them women. Yeah. No surprise to anyone, I would think. I am in Rowesville, South Carolina. Approaching the little downtown. Pretty impressive so far, isn't it? Look at these houses. Population 253. Yeah, pretty much the definition of wide spot in the road. But they have some stuff here. It's a cool old mule there. That's the train track that I just crossed, and there is a train depot. It has been restored and is in really good shape. I like seeing that. Median age of the town is 54. So it's a bit older. 68% of the town is black, 32% white. There's that. And everywhere you drive, beautiful homes. And I'm talking big ones. Those are not little houses. Median household income is $32,600 a year. Yeah, that's not much money. $600, a little over $600 a week. Cost of living's in 87, so 13% lower than the rest of the U.S. They have a park here for kids, but this is what I'm wondering about. Okay, it must have something to do with the school that was once here. Okay. First built 1893. Last built 1953. I'm assuming that's when the school opened and closed and rang the bells. Mother Angel, Guardian of Children. Dedicated January 29, 2002. Rowesville Graded School. Okay. So there was a school here. Looks like it was torn down. Here's a house that's, I would think, is abandoned. There's a cat back there too, but I don't know if you can see him or her. Poverty in this town, 16%. It's not too bad, is it? No crimes reported last year. Well, here's a couple of what looks like abandoned houses finally. Another one right here. Still, this town is mostly beautiful homes. It's quite nice. Believe it or not, that home is for sale. No idea how you would figure out how to find out how much they want for it, though. Yeah, home for sale. That in there. Mother Nature has taken that one, but I guess for the right price, it might be worth fixing. Okay, so median home value. I haven't given that to you yet. As I show you this beautiful house, I'll tell you that it is $125,000. I don't think I told you crime yet. Last year, no crimes reported. I am making my way into the town of Branchville, South Carolina. Now, this is not a wide spot in the road. There's about 1,000 people here. A metropolis compared to the towns I've showed you so far. But I love the trains. I love the railroad. I know many of you do as well. This town is got a significant place in history in terms of the railroad. And so I want to see it, and I'm going to show it to you guys. Here's a map real quick. You can see where I'm at. All right, so yeah, I'm here. The old train depot. I'm going to get out and get a look, and I'll tell you about it. Now, this is the Southern Railroad Passenger Depot. It's built in 1877. It is on the National Register, as you can well imagine. But that's not what makes this town amazing. The town is called Branchville. It used to be called The Branch. And the reason for that is this town is the site of the very first railroad junction ever built in the history of man. Yeah, I think we could see it right up here. Yeah, before then, you know, you get on a train, it went from A to B. But they built the very first junction here. This is where it was at. You can see the trains junctioned, or the tracks junctioned right there. It's not that great a condition anymore. Here, let me show you from this angle, and let me show you this old picture. Early 1900s. It's amazing, huh? So the train would leave, these tracks would leave from Charleston and head into South Carolina, and you could either go one way to Columbia, which is the capital city of the state, or the other way to Hamburg. And at the time, the track was 136 miles long. That was the longest rail line in the world when it was built. Yeah, what an amazing thing, huh? It's too bad the one line is in such a bad shape, but what incredible history, huh? The very first railroad junction ever built right here. I have just arrived in Ehrhardt, South Carolina. First things I see coming into town is what was once a beautiful house. It's completely abandoned. Well, let me show you a map so you can see where I'm at. South Carolina. And we'll head into downtown. But first, there is the fire department. There are about 450 people here in this town. Like another abandoned house there. Median age is 66. Yeah, so the town's a bit older. Quite frankly, it is slowly dying out. A little downtown they have right here. That's all that's left. There's an old train depot. Gens. 60% of the town is white. 36% is black, 4% Hispanic. Finally, a cat. What's up, fella? Yeah, a lot of the town is in ruins. All right, everyone, that's going to be it for here in South Carolina. We're going to head up to North Carolina next. Check out some stuff there. Nicole will be back in that one. So, we will see you there.